Well, hi there, everyone in Introvert's Corner, and who might be watching either live or who will be catching up on replay, either on YouTube or here. So, welcome to this week's Lessons from a Lurker with me, Jo Rawbone. I can't even say my name. With me, Joanna Rawbone. That's why I don't say Joe Rawbone, because it takes real effort, whereas Joanna Rawbone, much easier. But of course, I'm Joe to most people. So where am I? Here I am. Let's move my mic out the way a bit. Got some nice lisianthus behind me. Aren't they pretty? We had snow here yesterday, and today hard frost again, but now beautiful, although looks like the sun's gone in a bit now, so not quite as nice as it was earlier. But I've got some sweet peas to get planted out, and with the frost and the snow, do you know what? It's still not the right time to get those sweet peas out there. So they're growing up their canes on my office windowsill right now. Anyway, how are you? How are you all? I mean it when I ask that, because of course April is Stress Awareness Month, and you'll know that all 5 episodes of my podcast this month are devoted to the theme of stress. Not wanting to cause anyone more stress, just wanting to know how people are. So it's always good to ask that question. So what's been going on for me this week since I last caught up with you, and maybe you last caught up with me? Well, it was supposed to have been a quiet week last week. I'd almost deliberately not booked anything in post the Easter Monday so that I had time to catch up. Have I caught up? No. Did I have a quiet time? No, because I got an awful lot of new stuff coming in, including an opportunity to write an article. And I've just posted about this in Introvert's Corner, but also on the Flourishing Introverts page. And I have to say, I'm really excited about it. I got the opportunity to write an article for the HR director, and their themes were around change and kind of corporate social responsibility and all those sorts of areas. So I thought, I know what I can write about. So I wrote an article and called it "Are Half of Your Workforce Disenfranchised?" Well, this was supposed to be for the July edition, but all of a sudden I only submitted it on Monday. It's been published today. Maybe they were short of articles, I don't know. They've changed the title, which is slightly annoying, but of course they always have the right to change the title, so there's nothing I can do about that. It's now called Introversion and Extroversion Explained, which probably won't get as many reads as the other title I'd come up with, but I'm still really pleased that I managed to get the message out there. And that's some important messages I've got out there about the bias, where you'll find it, what needs to happen. So for any of our bosses who read the HR director, then hopefully they will have a resource, they will have something to look at, so that what they can do is refer back to it and maybe take action. I've posted about it in Introvert's Corner. I've also posted about it on the Flourishing Introverts page. So wherever you are, wherever you find it, do please share. And if you're working in an organization, please share with your HRDs, because this kind of bias needs to be stopped, because it is part of the diversity, equity and inclusion agenda. And all the while people are being encouraged to be more extroverted, then that's not equity or inclusion. We aren't, for that matter, we're not honouring the diversity piece really. So it's really important, if you get the opportunity to share that, I'd love it if you'd share it, so please do. So what else has been going on? I've been training. I've trained yesterday. I'm delivering training again this afternoon. I'm delivering training again tomorrow morning. Then I think I've got a free afternoon, actually. Delivering again Thursday morning, then got supervision Thursday afternoon. And Thursday evening, this is really exciting too. I'm delivering a webinar for a US-based health club group and gym group about how to make their places of health more introvert friendly, so that you're not automatically greeted with that "hello, good morning" when you walk in, because not all of us want that. Well, I certainly don't anyway. So I'm really looking forward to that webinar. I've run something similar as a podcast actually before with somebody else in the US, and it's them that referred me and recommended me. And it really kind of got good reviews and good ratings, because all of the training for receptionists in places like that, is about really engaging with people and really showing how happy you are and trying to get them to smile and that sort of stuff. Well, not all of us want that. Most of us are going there for a purpose, and we don't necessarily need to be brightened up in the morning or whenever we go. So I'm looking forward to that. But I have a question for you, and I'd love it if you could ask this question, whether you're watching live or whether you are #replay. Answer my question, please. I'd really appreciate it. What would you like changed about the health clubs that you visit? So as an introvert, what is it that kind of grates slightly for you or gets on your nerves as an introvert, that if we could change it would make a real difference? I notice that when I go to a group class, I'm always kind of in a back corner, well, not quite the corner, because the corners are easy to pick out, kind of back towards a corner, hoping that actually I won't get, called upon or won't get spotted in some way. And yes, I nod and smile when I walk in, but I don't want to engage in a conversation with anyone. Quite often I'm still turning my phone off. So I occupy myself with my phone as I'm walking into the place that I go. But I'd love to hear from you, whether it's working with a PT, personal trainer, whether it's joining a group class, whatever it is, what would make your experience more enjoyable? Because if I can share some real examples other than just mine with people, I think that will make a massive difference. So I'm recording that Thursday evening, and if you get the chance between now and then, just to let me know, then I'd really appreciate that. What else? Next week, and it's next Tuesday, so I'll maybe not say too much about it now, but I'm being interviewed for a podcast by Rob Kerr, I wrote the foreword for his book, and he was interviewed on my podcast quite a while ago now, and he's interviewing me for his podcast, so that's rather nice. That's Tuesday. And then on Tuesday evening, I am really looking forward to interviewing for the Flourishing Introvert Talks. I'm looking forward to interviewing a men's mental health specialist. And a lot of what he's going to talk about applies to women as well. But often we know that women are better at talking things out with friends. It's the old kind of campfire scenario, isn't it? Where women, if you ever watched or read, John Gray's Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, women will often sit around a campfire and just talk things out. They don't want advice. They don't want solutions. They don't want answers. They just want to talk it through. And then when they've talked it out, they feel much better. Men, on the other hand, tend to, according to John Gray, tend to take themselves off into their cave and stay there until they've sorted the problem out, which is one of the kind of reasons, or one of the understandings we have about why they don't talk about their mental health issues quite so much. So I'm delighted that I'll be talking to Andy next Tuesday evening, and then that podcast will be live just over a week later. But here's the second thing I'd like some help with, please. I have one more podcast to record with the focus on stress awareness. I've already recorded 3. 2 are launched. 1 will launch this Thursday. So I'd really love to hear from you what you would like to talk about, me to talk about on that 4th podcast, because there are 5 Thursdays in April, so there'll be 5 podcasts related to stress awareness. What would you like me to talk about from an introvert's perspective around stress awareness? I'd love to hear your thoughts, love to hear your answers on that. So again, either watching live now or #replay, do let me know what you'd like me to talk about. Phew. I think that's probably about me done today. I need to go and get myself ready to deliver some training this afternoon. The sun has just come out here again, so it's one of those typical British days. Oh, perfect. I don't know who Facebook user is, but I'm just going to have a look at this and share this. Went to a group yoga class once with a different new to me teacher, good reputation. Dished out criticism out loud to me about, oh, goodness. No, I wouldn't have returned to that teacher either. How awful. I have to say, I'm very lucky, and obviously I haven't been for a while now, but my local spa, Green Farm Spa, has yoga run by an amazing woman called Celia. And Celia is the best yoga teacher I've ever been to, because she certainly doesn't criticize, as you've talked about in that comment. And I must admit, good morning, Jeannie, I certainly wouldn't go to a yoga teacher who did that. But she's very inclusive in that, you know, she'll give us alternatives if because not all of us are as flexible as each other. So she'll give us alternatives. And it's one of the things I find absolutely delightful about her. And she's used to working with people with less mobility. She's used to working with older people. So she's very generous and giving and inclusive in her yoga. So now we're about to open up in the UK again. I'm looking forward to getting back to some classes with Celia, because it does me the power of good just to be in her company. I know, Jeannie, isn't that awful? That's just horrible, just horrible. Anyway, that's probably about it from me. So remember those two requests. The first is, what would you like to be different? And I've got a lovely example here that I can use now from Melanie in terms of, you know, don't point out what people are doing wrong out loud. By all means, go and have a quiet word with them, especially if what they're doing is dangerous, then, you know, you need to do that, but not out loud. So my first request is, what, for the webinar that I'm doing on Thursday evening, what would you like to see different in the gyms or health clubs you frequent, or working just one-to-one with a PT? What would you like them to do different that would make it more introvert friendly? And the second request is, for my last podcast episode that's related to stress awareness, what would you like me to talk about that I haven't already talked about on my podcast, on the Flourishing Introvert Talks? Because I've done 3 already, and there's one more. Got Andy as the men's mental health specialist for the last one, and that leaves one more episode, and I'm more than happy to have that informed by you guys. So lovely to see some of you today, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts, your comments, whether it's live now as I start to disappear, or whether it's hashtag replay. Let me know what you'd like, because I'm here to serve. Nice to see you all.